We're surrounded by sound, even in the quietest places. Even when the world is as quiet as it can be, we can hear our bodies, our breathing, our movements. Some sounds in the world are short, brief noises that start, stop, and are gone. We can repeat them in our minds for a while, but as we do so, their essence changes. Is what we imagine really the same sound we heard? What drives these changes? When we hear a continuous sound like a rhythm, machinery, or speech, we can immediately identify structure within it. Whatever caused the sound might have had a repeated action within it, and in our minds we can extract this repetition from the sound and use it to break up the sound into units. As well as hearing the whole sound stream, we can attend to the units within the sound. They might be beats, or words, or notes. Focusing in on a unit within a stream of sound is like focusing in on an object within the visual scene, or to a part of an object. Some sounds consist of several strands woven together. When listening to an orchestra, you may be able to pick out a single part of the instrument, maybe a violin or a trumpet, maybe a clarinet or an oboe. When you focus on any of these, you can still hear the orchestra and the music as a whole. But can you attend to the violin and the clarinet at the same time? You might be able to switch rapidly between them in the same way that you can look at different things in the world, but that's not the same as focusing on both sounds simultaneously. You can only listen to them both at once if they're playing the same phrases, or if their notes combine into a single line of music. In a room full of people all talking at once, you can pick out one person's voice or another, but you cannot listen to both of them at once unless they are saying the same thing. The structure of the sound world influences the way we can focus our attention and move our attention around it. And this is also true for sound that we imagine. Sometimes sound units mean something. Words are obvious examples, but we also recognize other sounds and give them identities. We can name them. If we recognize a sound, then are we really hearing the sound, or are we now hearing an idea of the sound? It's all too easy to mishear things people say because our minds create the words from the sounds we hear, and we do this using the knowledge of what they're likely to say. We can also build sounds in our minds and can imagine that we are hearing quite complicated sounds such as an orchestra, a party full of people talking and chattering, a road full of traffic. Imagining a sound like this is different to having a memory of that sound. If you imagine the sound of a party, it isn't an actual party that you're remembering, but one you're creating from your knowledge of parties in general. This is the knowledge that would let you identify sounds coming from behind a door to know that there was a party going on in there. Knowledge can be used to build sounds in your mind as well as to recognize them. We can use this knowledge and imagery to build sounds in different ways, and to take them apart and to build them again in different ways. In the next exercises, you'll experience attending to different parts of sounds, both in the world and in your mind. You'll notice that imagery of sound is closely linked to visual images and to meanings and feelings.